Blowing in the wind.
Blowing in the wind, it's famous.
Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I got a didgeridoo. I got a
Go on, find Lady Jane.
Okay, end of the line. Like a rolling stone. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. I don't know, that was him. Kids, don't do drugs.
I have a walking recipe for don't
Show
do
us your hands and arms look hench. I did a reaction to the teaser for the new film, which is it's not actually a biopic of his life.
Yeah.
But it's about Bob Dylan's origin story.
Yeah.
It's called A Complete Unknown.
Which is one of his records.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. So I guess this is about when he was a complete unknown.
Yes.
And then he became a complete known.
Yes.
I talked myself into all sorts of knots when I did the teaser, and I got a lot of hate.
Why? Why did you?
Well, because I challenged the mainstream narrative that he's a genius.
Is any good?
And my God, hell hath no...
He won the Pulitzer.
I know, hell hath no fury like a Bob Dylan
Well, I
fan.
should think so. I mean, without him, there wouldn't be anybody.
Anybody what?
Anybody anywhere singing.
What, is he God?
He is. He was at the time.
So what was his thing?
Well,
Come on, Mum, without saying what you think you ought to say, when you cast your mind back into those distant eras of what was your thing? When Bob Dylan came on, what did you think? Oh, I've got to get my groove on, or oh, I really want to think about this.
Not groove, because she couldn't dance to anything.
No.
Did. But you'd go.
What would you do?
You'd go. No, I don't know.
Would you get stoned?
Yes, of course.
Right. So come on, I'm not. You haven't taken us back in time. I realise that the drug-addled brain, the memory synapses aren't snapping.
I mean, for a start, you've got to remember that at the time it was all country and western.
Right.
We used to call it. They don't call it that anymore.
Because as I remember him, he used to have a guitar and he used to have a harmonica.
Yeah,
right?
he did those two things.
And really curly hair.
Yeah, depending on whether it was short or long.
Were you a Bob Dylan fan?
Yeah.
You were?
Yeah.
I mean, he is widely considered as one of the greatest songwriters ever, isn't he?
I mean, the mistake people made, I think, was that they thought because he couldn't sing, because he whined, he'd got no voice at all.
No, he was. Well, that's my thing. You see, he whines.
He does whine. He's got no voice. That's
right. Well, that's a bit of a key kind of impediment, isn't it, to being a singer?
No, because if you think of how many singers today have
can't
voices,
sing.
yeah, loads of them.
I suppose so. It's a curious career, isn't it? Choice to go into, singer, but I can't sing. Oh, see, my only memory of Bob Dylan is the famous video of him showing the lyrics and putting the cards down on the floor. Remember that?
Oh,
was like
yeah,
a video.
I do,
Is that a film or something? I don't know where I've got that from, but that's my long-lasting memory.
Artist, isn't it?
Anyway, I felt corrected by you Bob Dylan fans. I know there are lots of Bob Dylan fans here, and I'm not actually making light of him. Clearly, he's just not... It's never been someone I've got into or listened to. I mean, I'm a different generation. Yeah. And I was into dance music, and then I went into the New Order, Joy Division. I went all that way, but
I mean, you were about 3 people beyond Bob Dylan.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just a different... It'd be like listening to Paul Simon. But I have to say, Paul Simon came on the other day. Simon and Art Garfunkel. I like them.
Well, they've got melodies that you can understand and they can sing.
See, I love it. Straight from the mouths of a mum.
But there's so much more important things than that. One is being real, and one is singing it as it is, and one is being political, and one is... what else
I like what you said there.
Yeah.
One is being real.
Being real to the kids. He was real to
Real
us.
to the kids.
Yeah.
He's shrouded in mystery.
Yeah.
I mean, now, isn't he? He's sort of... All I think of when I think of Bob Dylan is a man with a lot... Well, not so much curly hair anymore, but it's kept on top of his head with a bandana and a sweatband.
Yeah, or a hat.
Or a hat, that's right. Yeah. Shades.
Yes.
And he looks a little bit like he's walked out the Magic Roundabout.
No.
But anyway, he's clearly important. He's a cultural phenomenon. And this is a film in which Timothée Chalamet plays him.
Yes.
And it's called A Complete Unknown. It's directed by James Mangold.
What do we know him from?
Well, his most recent film was the most recent Indiana Jones film, which
okay.
was a bit of a pain in the arse, that film. He also did Ford v Ferrari. He did Logan. He's kind of... He can be interesting, James Mangold. He's I would describe him as a sinewy director.
Oh, that's
sort of male and sinewy.
Well, that's quite a compliment, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't know if you don't like male and sinewyiness.
The thing is as well, let me say that until this sort of riot took place, when he was about 10 years in, it was quite a long time
right.
he'd been playing. And he appeared, I think it was Birmingham in the end, a huge hall in Birmingham. With
Birmingham, Alabama?
No, here in England.
Birmingham, Handsworth?
Somewhere like that, or maybe it was London.
Right.
And He brought on stage an electric guitar and started to play it, and everybody left the building.
Why? Because it was...
They were so furious that Bob Dylan, the master of country and western, and guitar picking,
He'd gone electric.
should go electric. They wouldn't listen to him. His records came back to the stores. They wouldn't, all the stuff that had been said before. I mean, I doubt that they'll get that far.
I don't think they do. I think
they're
this
not.
is the early days. Well, other people in here, Edward Norton is in it, Elle Fanning,
Okay.
Boyd Holbrook, who went on bloody holiday with us this year.
What do you mean?
Boyd Holbrook, he was in front of us in the queue for the flight to Montenegro.
Was he?
Yeah, from Narcos. I think the thing I quite like about the idea and the mythos of Bob Dylan is strapping...
Mythos?
The mythos.
Is there such a word?
Yeah.
Mythos. Or
The mythos.
Okay.
Menthos.
Menthos.
Strapping a guitar onto your back.
Yeah.
And what's it called? What were they called? The people who travel on the trains in America? Not hillbillies.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What are they called, Mum? What is it, guys? When they get on the mile-long trains and they just kind of...
Woody Guthrie.
Yes!
No, Woody Guthrie was the most famous one, and he was an absolute hero.
What are they,
Dylan.
Mum? Oh,
What are they called?
it's
What are
not...
they called?
It's not scallywags.
No, you idiots.
It's not hillbillies.
No,
But it's not hoodlums.
no, but it's a word that
Something like
embodies all of those, but they have to get on a train and play.
Yeah, hipster, and they
But
travel
Woody
around.
Guthrie was the most famous of those, and he's the one that Bob Dylan sort of took after. I mean,
Do you think he's just stayed quiet, Bob Dylan, just because he's just not interested or he's got nothing to say? No.
Mark, he won the Pulitzer
That's quite something. That is something. What does that mean?
for poetry.
Okay, well, without further ado, that's 10 minutes of chat and we haven't even got to the trailer yet, so let's do it. This is A Complete Unknown. Is that door just open behind you?
No.
You traveled all the way from Minnesota.
More like it all.
Why is that? I wanted to catch a spark.
If you're traveling in the North Country Fair,
I just say no one wants to hear what a kid wrote last month.
Well, I like your songs.
the winds hit heavy on the borderline.
Who wrote this?
He did.
Remember me.
How about that Joan Baez, folks? But she's pretty. Sings pretty. Maybe a little too pretty.
He was in love with them, they were in that out.
Joan
Sounds
Baez.
like an oil painting at the dentist's office.
You're kind of an asshole, Bob.
If you go with snowflake storm, when the river's freezing, summer ends.
For anyone who's gonna hold your attention on stage, you have to kind of be a freak.
This is
You
it.
can be beautiful or you can be ugly, but you can't be plain.
Keep her from the howling winds.
When's the new album out?
Soon. 200 people in that room, each one wants me to be somebody else. And they should just let me be.
Let you be what?
Whatever it is they don't want me to be.
I hear Bob is playing electric.
I don't want to stage either.
Hip-hop's playing electric.
They just want me to sing and blow in the wind for the rest of my goddamn life.
This is gonna piss some people off.
You came here with nothing but a guitar. You never talk about your family, your past.
People make up their past, feel me? They remember what they want, they forget the rest.
I want to know which side he's on.
I'm not sure they want to hear what I want to play, Johnny.
I want to hear it.
Boys.
Put it down! Stay alive! Make some noise, Big D.
Chelsea Hotel. Oh, Mum, what did you think?
Well, I liked it, except
Yes.
for a most remarkable event that I don't know if Timothée Chalamet was very good.
Oh.
I couldn't tell what he was saying. He changed.
Well,
his
none of us
accent.
can really tell what Bob Dylan's singing. I tell you what I liked about that, and I did get a lot more from that than I did the teaser.
Okay.
And to be fair, this is where your comments, guys, underneath our reactions and when we do this stuff, mean something, because so many of you have talked with such ardency, passion, commitment, and they've said, please, just understand that you're not getting it. He's an artist.
Yeah,
Da, 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 da.
he is.
I want to go to this and actually just inform myself.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's hit the electric guitar moment in there.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of the subsidiary characters like Joan Byers.
Joan Byers.
Joan Byers. I always remember you talking about her when I was young.
Yeah, well, they were sort of...
I think I fancied her. I think I must have seen her on an album or
They
something.
were a cool couple.
Were they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do look cool.
Drugs.
And I quite Is he into drugs?
Oh, everybody's into drugs.
Is he a bit of a heroin addict at some point?
No, I don't think
okay.
heroin. I think that would have been...
Killed it.
Gone a bit too far, yeah.
Do you know what I quite liked that I think it's about?
What?
And I think it's quite clever to do this with any biopic. It's clearly, because he is such an enigmatic character, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's not present, he is present. He's omnipresent. His music
Very
speaks
good
for him and all that
word,
kind of
yeah.
stuff. The idea that actually, there was a moment, and I forget what the line was, he said, I don't want to be what they want me to be. I want to not be it. It must be, weirdly in the week that Liam Payne's died, it must be, we assume that everyone who's creative and successful wants the fame. And maybe Bob Dylan never did.
No.
Maybe
no.
he just wanted to be good. Maybe he just wanted to connect.
Well, that's very true. And also, that want the fame in the way that they want it. Or
In the way that
fans
the
want
industry
it.
wants the fame, or the fan, yeah.
And then you get people like Taylor Swift, all the stuff that she sings.
Yes.
Now, I'll offend Taylor Swift's.
Yeah, but Mum, you haven't offended Bob Dylan fans, and that's the most
No,
important thing here.
but I was just going to say all sound the same to me. I can't tell the difference. Oh, sorry.
All right, you've opened a can of worms there, Mum, but it's your opinion,
But Bob Dylan's a totally individual. Everyone says so much. It was all about leaving home, which I was a big one on.
Yeah. I think it's going to be interesting about how his public image and the myth of Bob Dylan, how that intersects with the man. Because let's face it, all these uber famous people, they are humans, and we can forget that.
Yeah.
And I quite like that. It's baked into the title, Complete Unknown. I thought Boyd Holbrook, you think, was playing Johnny Cash there, right?
I'm not sure. There was one scene where he'd got glasses on. It looked like Johnny
Bit of
Cash.
beating up.
I liked
Ed
his
Norton
face.
looked old, didn't he?
Yeah.
Didn't he?
Yeah.
And Elle Fanning is in there. Yeah, I thought it.
It was with lots of different women.
So you've got a
Joan
problem.
Baez
You've got a problem with old Timothée.
I mean, they didn't give us much of him saying much, did they? But what he said didn't sound... I mean, he's not supposed to sound like himself. He's supposed to sound like Bob Dylan, but it sounded to me as if he wasn't...
Bob Dylan?
He was putting on a sort of strange accent, but the director would have got rid of that. I'm probably judging him on too small a...
You're fixating on an odd thing.
Yeah, I am.
Did you buy into him? I thought he looked the part.
Yeah, oh, he looks the part totally.
So what's your problem?
And he plays the part
And he
totally.
plays. So what is your issue?
It was him speaking his lines. I might have got this wrong, but with Bob Dylan, there was lots of dope and cannabis and all stuff like that. But it was before things got nasty with drugs, you know.
He was the innocent end of drugs.
He was the innocent end of drugs, and the kids were too, of course.
Right.
So all those kids running after him in the streets.
More like an Elvis crowd.
Well, not as
Not even as
rebellious as that. They were more
innocent.
They were more clapping.
They weren't getting their tits out and having sex with everyone. No. They were a bit religious.
Well, just that sort of
I
idea.
can't work out what you're trying to say, man. Happy clappy.
Happy clappy.
Bit simple.
Well, yes, a bit.
Bit stupid.
Which is why people like me, who sort of was slightly on the edge of, we liked Bob Dylan, we thought he was really clever, we liked his words, we liked his music, we loved Joan Baez. But we didn't stick with him. We all moved to people
who were a bit more risque.
Yeah, and I have to say the stepping stones were the Beach Boys and then the Beatles.
Oh, the Beach Boys were off their tits, weren't they?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, I think of the Beach Boys sometimes. Anyway, it's a different discussion.
Sorry.
Anyway, it's lovely. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you another day.
When's it out?
December.
Oh,
Christmas Day.